Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Dear Princess Celestia, the show where I take an episode and analyze its moral. Today's episode, it's about time.
Dear Princess Celestia,
I've been wanting to analyze a Twilight episode for quite a while, so it's about time I did this one. Anyway, instead of having several morals like the other episodes I've talked about, this episode had one central theme: the future. Woo. In It's About Time, we were given 2 examples on how not to deal with the future. Twilight worried way too much, being overly concerned with the things she had no power over. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have Spike, who didn't care enough about the future and made rather short-sighted decisions. These two serve as 2 extremes of the same problem. First, let's talk about Spike. When Twilight became obsessed with preventing disaster, Spike took advantage of the anarchy and ate all the ice cream he could without getting in trouble. When he was warned about the impending stomachache, his reply was, well, that's future Spike's problem. This is what I like to call the YOLO complex. You only live once, so why not do what you want when you want to do it? Well, Spike learned the hard way that this mindset isn't the best way to go. In this respect, it's important to plan ahead your future and not to do anything rash or that will later bring negative consequences. However, you can only plan ahead so much. No matter how much Twilight would hate to admit it, you can't control the future. Now don't get me wrong, safety precautions are a great way of keeping on the safe side, but Twilight took it way too far. She was so obsessive, she went even as far as trying to monitor everything, which actually made things worse for her. I believe the perfect balance can be found somewhere between Spike and Twilight, not overreacting, but taking precautions and solving problems as they come along. Now that we're talking about this episode, I might as well ask you guys a question I've been thinking about. This episode is like a loop. Near the end of the episode, Twilight goes back in time to warn her past self not to worry, which curiously is what caused past Twilight to worry in the first place. After a week of freaking out, Twilight decides that there was nothing to worry about, and goes back in time to warn her past self not to worry. And the cycle continues. But what is it that started the cycle? There has to be something that initiated the cycle to begin with. If it was a loop independent of anything else, we have several problems, one of which being this. How did Twilight know where the time spells were? Oh yeah, future Twilight told her.
the time spells are in the Canterlot archives, but that's not really.
But how did future Twilight know? Well, when she was past Twilight, the future Twilight told her. So where did the original knowledge come from? This is why the loop idea on its own doesn't really work. If you guys have any theories to explain this quantum confusion, let me know in the comments. Since my last remix was What My Cutie Mark Is Telling Me, I thought it would be appropriate to remix A True True Friend. And of all the songs I've remixed so far, A True True Friend is my personal favorite, so be expecting that anytime between Thursday and Saturday. Once I get that uploaded, I'll put a link here and in the description. This is the Brony Notion, signing out until next Wednesday. Brohoof.